Hey, what's up? This is Just Play Nonsense,
I'm Mike.
and I'm Rob. There's something I wanted to talk about today. You know what absolutely drives me up the freaking wall?
Know what?
When people like constantly interrupt you. Like if you're in a group talking to somebody and they come up and they're like, "Hey," they just jump in the middle. So I was like talking to somebody and this kid came up and jumped in between us and was like, "Hey," and started talking to the person I was talking to. So I just like turned around and walked away. I was like, "I can't handle this. It drives me up. It drives me nuts."
Yeah, it seems to be the new social norm. I see that a lot with people.
Right.
Just kind of,
And I hate it so much. So what I want to rant today. That's what I want to do.
dude, I'm down to rant.
All right.
Let's rant.
Okay. So that's my number one. It's like people interrupting because like first of all, it's so disrespectful, and it's like, oh, it just gets under my skin.
What makes it worse is when they cut in and they have really, really annoying habits like sentence fillers. like
So like an or I guess are your two
Yes.
number one.
that and the misuse of the word literally.
Literally.
Like literally. Like those two combined just it kind of contradicts literally.
Yeah, people overuse literally a lot. It's like I see it as a hyperbole
Yeah.
because they're like literally.
Now that we're talking about it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna annoy the crap out of ourselves.
Yeah, I'm gonna annoy myself just because I hear. I say like all the time anyway. That's just me. But I guess I think it started with what was that Clueless movie?
Yeah.
Like totally. But yeah, that's one of my number one pet peeves is like people that just cut in and interrupt you. I just want to fight them.
I like the other day, like literally broke my leg.
It's a hyperbole though. It's like
It literally hurt.
I understand, like it drives me nuts. Some people do use literally incorrectly, but I mean I do it as well. I'll be like, I literally died when I saw that.
You can tell I got somebody in mind because I'm switching to my impression of them, my impersonation of them. Like literally.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not going to say because if they listen, I don't want them. I don't want you to get in trouble.
Yeah, I would like literally get in trouble.
I think you're about to get in trouble. So do you what else drives you nuts? What else you got?
Okay, yeah, actually I do know because this happened to me the other day and it happens frequently.
Okay.
People that park in like 2 or 3 parking spots.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not even just people in like a Lamborghini or whatever. It's like people in just
It's like a
mediocre
Ford
car.
Taurus.
Yeah. And it's like, and they do it in the front of the parking, within the first 10 stalls of like
Right.
Walmart or whatever.
Right.
And then, it's like, how do they not get keyed and their tires slashed all the time?
Well, I always like whenever they do that and people draw like little chalk outlines around it with the arrows pointing with a bunch of obscenities.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of videos like where people do to parkers like that.
Right. There was
And
one.
I love it.
There was one
Social
I saw.
justice.
Social justice is one of my favorite things. But there's one I saw where somebody parked and they were taking up 4 parking spots. So these dudes that had these giant trucks, like the hunters that go out with like the 38-inch wheels and they're sticking out the truck and it's lifted like 9 inches or whatever.
That's like my truck.
They're right. They were all parked around this car and dude couldn't get out. They showed a video of him coming up and he was like mad. He couldn't get out.
Well, speaking of like Walmart, you ever get like a bad grocery cart?
Oh, yes. They're like
The wheels all messed up.
pulls to one
They'll
side.
pull
or
to
the
one
other.
side real hard, and then like I'm using like, gosh darn it, I embedded it in my own head now.
But then
I'm conforming to this. But you'll be pushing the cart through the aisles,
right.
and you could go back and get a new cart.
But you've already committed.
Yeah, you already have things in that cart. You already have items. It's over.
Yeah, and then like if you do decide to go back, you get one that's even worse. I always hate the ones that are like as you're walking through, like that's all you can hear through the whole entire store. Your tire or your wheel just going over and over and over again. Or the one that's like I hope that translates well into audio. I was shaking my hand when I was doing that because the wheel wobbles.
I think it got the handshake. It picked it up.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Or wet socks.
Dude,
Good God, man!
I can't handle wet socks.
It's one of the things I hate most is wet socks.
Like if like I said like so if it's just like a little bit wet at the bottom, like say you step in a puddle and it just kind of sneaks into your shoe. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about like just soaked?
Either one's bad. Yeah, I mean, moisture in socks. Ugh.
Right. Yeah. And it just, it sucks too because like it's cold
Right.
and it's not just wet. It's wet and cold. And then it's
Well-
just, it never goes away because it's in your shoe.
Well, I don't want to put it in my, it just drives me nuts thinking about it. That and like when they lose their elasticity.
Yeah.
I hate that. Drives me nuts. Like when you're wearing the shin high socks.
Yeah. See, I'm not in that world because mine are only ankle high.
That's what I wear in my normal clothes.
Right.
But when I go to work, I
You
wear
wear
the shin high black
Okay.
socks because I wear boots.
Right.
So they like creep down. I have to pull them up. It's just a bad day.
That's one of those things where they're like, on the outside, everything looks fine, but nobody knows that the sock is halfway off my foot in my shoe.
or you know when you like, dude, yeah, when you step on your socks,
Oh,
you have to pull.
yeah. They start to like, it starts falling below your heel. And then you're like, you're in the middle of something and you can't stop and pull it back up. And it's just driving you nuts. And you can't focus.
You know, that'd be a bad day if you were in Walmart. You had to park in the back because somebody
Took up all the
took up parking
spaces.
spots. You get in there, you get a crappy cart. You have wet socks, which they dry, but then it's right under the heel of your foot. That'd be a nightmare.
That would be pretty bad. That'd be a bad day.
Or when you're in Walmart and you buy something because it's like a gift or something,
Right.
and then you go to give it to somebody and you're like, well, I don't want them to see that I got it for sale because I'm trying to save money. I'm balling on a budget, you know?
Right.
So you go peel the sticker off
Yeah,
and the
you-
residue of the sticker's still there.
Usually for birthdays.
Yeah. It's like, gosh darn it.
And then they can tell they'll see it and they're like, oh, you got this at dollar store because it leaves that yellow sticker.
It doesn't matter. Like they know that you got it cheaper
Right.
because the residue's there. You can't hide it. It's like they do that on purpose.
You
Like,
know
spend
what?
more money on the better gift.
You know what I've done for that is I've actually torn off that portion of the container. Like usually it's a cardboard box. I'll tear a big hole in the box just to get rid of the residue. So you couldn't even tell that it was there.
Or you know what drives me nuts is when people leave you the call me back voicemails.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like the call itself implies that I should call you back, that you want me to do this.
Right.
Like you wanted to talk to me via phone.
Right. And then it's like, it shows missed call from this person. It's not like you need to be like, you wait through my voicemail of like, hey man, it's Rob. I'm probably out doing something cool. I'm, driving my car, whatever. I'm not at my phone, blah, blah, blah. My voicemail lasts for 87 seconds. And then you're like, you waited through all of that to be like, hey, call me back.
See, I've never heard your voicemail because you always answer immediately.
Right. Well,
Because you know better.
He just gave me the eyebrow. I actually, my voicemail is, it's actually personalized. So if you call me, it'll be like, hey Mike, Rob's not at the phone right now.
It says, hey, Mike.
Yeah. It'll say your name.
That's sweet.
But yeah, that drives me up the wall. I can't handle that. There was a comedian that was, he said he does a thing about that. And he's like, I don't remember which comedian it was, but he says, if you're going to leave me a voicemail, all I need is like Joe, Tom, whatever your name is. Like, I don't need you to be like, hey bro, I guess you're out doing something. Don't assume what I'm doing. Anyway, that got off topic. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you're making small talk with people
Right.
and they use the stereotypical overused expressions to answer it.
Yes.
So you'll be like, hey man, how you doing? And then the number one saying I hate the most is living the dream. I hear that at least once a night at work.
Oh man.
And then I hear it randomly here and there. Then it's like, are you living the dream? Like if you are, good for you, but you're not.
I doubt that.
You're just spreading that saying over and over again. So
Dude, you're shaking. You're so angry.
dude, I am, because from the first time I've heard it till the time I die, I guarantee you I've heard that expression so many times that I will like literally kill myself. No, that it would just be ridiculous. It'd probably be in the hundreds of thousands.
Right. Yeah, it's like
It's hilarious.
that
One too. It was moderately funny.
That fits along with people overusing literally.
Yeah.
It's like, because living the dream, you're not actually living the dream. Like you're probably incredibly unhappy. So don't lie to me. That I feel that way about small talk.
It usually is like some angry, bitter older guy that's like, living the dream.
It's just that's one thing that bothers me about that. And that I kind of want to stick on this topic for a minute because I have a lot of stuff that goes on about this one. Like the problem that I have with it is that when somebody says something like that, you're like, hey, how's it going? They're like, I'm great. I'm fine. Everything's awesome. Like, you're lying to me. It's not awesome. It's never perfect and it's never awesome. Like I cannot abide fake people.
Although I do feel like,
did I use that right? I cannot abide fake people. Is that right?
I don't know. I'm stupid. No, for me, I do feel like there are certain moments in life where you do feel things are awesome.
Right.
So I do feel like, sometimes somebody will ask me and I'll actually be doing awesome.
Yeah. But you can tell whenever they're
Awesomely.
like, if they're like, hey, how are you doing? You're like, dude, I'm doing freaking amazing. Like you can tell that it's real. But whenever they're like, living the dream, like, that they're lying. Like, just be real. If you're having a bad day, tell me you're having a bad day. Don't like make up. Like I'll go up to somebody and be like, hey man, what's going on? They're like, nothing. Really? Literally nothing in your life is going on. You're just existing. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. It feels like they're probably just complacent in the day-to-day routine. So they have nothing interesting to talk about. So
Right.
so probably for them, it really is,
Well, I think the problem with that is the majority of the time, I think people are like, that the person asking you that doesn't really want an answer. Like
Right.
they don't want to sit there.
like,
and
how
talk
are you
about it.
doing?
Right.
Well, I woke up late and, just
Right. Well, this is one thing. Actually, this would be kind of a cool challenge. It's in the middle of the podcast. So like, it's not at the end. Like I'll be like, hey, I'm going to leave you with a challenge, but this would be a cool challenge. If you get the chance and you ask somebody, hey, how are you doing? And they say, fine, ask them again. Be like, really? Honestly, how are you doing? Like probably, I'd say 50 to 70% of the time, people will actually open up to you.
But do you want them to?
If you want them to. If you don't want them to, don't ask them a second time.
Yeah, it's more of a greeting process than it really is.
Yeah, it's
An informative conversation. It's
Right.
more of those when you walks past somebody, you have to acknowledge them kind of thing, and it's just more of a thing to say.
right. Well, that's why I'm
But
usually like, hey man, what's
Yeah,
up?
but it'd be nice if people mix it up. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the whole. It's less personal. It's just kind of like, yeah, I know you're here. I'm fine.
Right. Or you know what else drives me nuts is when you're like, hey man, how are you doing? They're like, I'm tired. Yeah, we're all tired. Got it. That's great. It's like a dismissive kind of like, I don't want to talk to you kind of thing.
Yeah, most of those really don't bother me except for the living the dream thing. Like that just really eats at me because I hear it so much.
Well, and I completely get that. And the part of it that drives me nuts about it is just the fact that they're like fake.
Yeah.
I can't, I don't do fake people. I can't handle it.
Well, you know what I don't like
What's that?
is when someone starts to tell you this long, elaborate joke and then forgets the punchline.
I've done that before.
yet they assure you that it's hilarious. It's like, oh, well, I'm waiting, buddy. I'm
I've
waiting.
done that before, man. I'll be like telling this whole long joke and I'll be like, oh wait,
So there's like there's three guys, or was it two and a
frog.
dude, this joke's hilarious. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, you know what? I don't remember. It's funny when you hear it right. It's hilarious.
It's funny when you hear it right. Just go find somebody who can tell this joke better than me.
Just ask around. Ask if they heard the joke about the two, maybe three guys in a woods or a jungle or something.
Maybe in a city street. I don't know. They're somewhere. That's awesome. All right. Something that bothers me. Something that I absolutely, I think it's the bane of the technology world. It's freaking printers. You ever have to deal with printers?
Not very often.
Oh my gosh, man. Like they'll sit there and just like clunk and whir and whiz. Whiz? Is that and they don't pee on anything, I guess. They just make that sound. But they'll like make all these noises and then they won't do anything. It's like you hit print and they're like for like 7 minutes and then nothing happens. You're like, come on. There's no diagnostic display on the screen where it's like, hey, this thing's having a problem. It just makes a bunch of noise. And I hate when people are like, hey man, can you fix my printer? I literally can't. Literally, I cannot fix your printer.
Yeah. I really hate, I'm on elevators quite often,
Right.
and I really hate when you're,
Is that what you have to do to get up to the tower? Do you got an elevator or do you walk up flights of stairs?
stairs, dude.
How many flights is it?
Depends on what stairs. There's a lot of stairs everywhere in this place.
For those of you who don't know, Mike is a prison guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he's got to go up in the tower every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm sitting
It's just stairs. We're on a budget, man.
we don't have elevators.
But
You're on elevators all the time. You got
like
got them fillers.
Like see what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
No, with the elevators, there's just like with everything, there's social like etiquette, standards.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like one should be that when you're coming off the elevator, you should be able to get off without people just rushing you.
Right.
I hate when people just don't let you get off and they just rush the elevator. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, they'll stand in front of the door.
Yeah.
After they push the button,
like,
they stand in front of the door, and then they're like,
this door's opening.
Right. But then
It's kind of a two-way thing.
They stand there and stare at you like you need to get out of the way so they can get on.
Yeah, or that, or they'll just rush past you, right? And you're like, oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, I can't stand that. That like, and escalators too. It's like, people try to walk up and down the escalators, and then you've got one person that's like taking up the whole thing, blocking it. You got that, and then you've got I'm not a fan of walking up and down the escalator because like, why would I choose the escalator if I wanted to take the stairs? Like, I don't get it.
I used to date a chick that was terrified of escalators.
Really?
Well, what would you call that? Escalator phobia?
Automatic stereophobia.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind that?
There's no story. She's just scared of them, like to a level that was freakish. And
what was she scared about? Was she afraid she was going to get caught in it or something?
I don't know.
I'm scared of moving stairs.
They just go up and down without your control.
So getting back to like when people leave voicemails and stuff, I can't stand these freaking spam phone calls that we get now. Like, do you ever get that on your cell phone? It used to be on landlines all the time.
Now you're getting me started on a rant.
But now it's on. That's the good. That's what we're going for. But like, I'll get like 7 or 8 phone calls a day from these like numbers in like Montana and Georgia.
Yeah.
And it's like, leave me alone, man. Like,
You just won a cruise to blah, blah, blah. Just give me all your personal information.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Like, how many times do I have to ignore the call for you to get the point that I don't want to talk to you?
Well, I work midnights,
Right.
So I sleep during the day, and that's when they just bombard me,
Oh.
and just ruin my sleep. And I can't put my phone on silent because I need my phone for work if they call me for outside hospital duty or
Right.
if my kids are in school. So I have to leave my phone on loud because I need to,
Yeah.
But just constantly, sometimes it won't happen at all. Sometimes it'll happen 2 or 3 times in a day. It's just inconvenient, and it's never. So who's paying these people to do this?
I don't know. And where are they getting the money from?
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's one that's,
Would you like to donate money to the blah, blah, blah fund?
The one that I normally get is, I have a multimedia and graphic design business, and they're like, your business has been chosen to win $25,000 or something like that. And I'm like, no, I haven't. This is a scam. Leave me alone.
I've got those too. I don't own a business.
I'll get ones too that are like, there's a what is it? There's a disputed charge on your credit card. I'm like, I don't have a credit card. I have chosen not to have credit cards for that reason. Like, I don't understand. I got a call from like somebody pretending to be Windows, like Microsoft the other day, trying to talk me into like going on and installing some kind of software on my computer.
Windows don't talk. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Here's what really drives me nuts. All the identity fraud people, like they have nothing better to do. They just, I've had my information stolen a few times.
Right.
I had somebody take 1,000 out of my account when I was 2,000 miles from home.
Right.
And then I have a small town bank that they did it to,
Yeah.
I have a few banks, but that one in particular, so I couldn't get to a branch and they had deactivated my card and I was so mad. And then another one was I guess they did it at a gas station. They could put stuff on pumps. So they say to always pay inside because it's one way they can steer it. They'll put something on the slide card.
Right.
So
yeah, little card readers and
yeah.
stuff. I always jiggle those before I put my card in anymore.
Yeah. People suck. But but I had one though. They took all this money out and donated to the United Arab Fund.
What?
Which, as a veteran in military, at the time, it doesn't look good.
Why did Michael donate all this money to the United Arab Fund? You're gonna get massacred by your what are the people called that are leaders of that?
ISIS, Al Qaeda.
No, I meant like your general or whatever, whoever would get mad at you.
Yeah,
Your
chain of command.
Your CO. I'm gonna get on a little bit more of a serious topic.
Ooh.
I'm 34 and I'm still single, right?
Right.
That sucks balls.
Does it?
Yes, it is awful. Like, it's okay being single. Like, I can do what I want, right? However, at 34, there is nobody who is available. There are no available women.
Somewhere in this country, sitting on a couch, someone's ears, some chick's having a podcast saying the same thing. Look out the window at the same moon as you.
And then our eyes.
She's out there, bro.
But it's like that's one of the things. That's something that's really sucks because like all my friends, when I was like 20, 25 to 30, they started getting married and having kids, and all my friends disappeared. They were gone. Like you have to go spend time with your family. So I completely get that. But like that leaves me alone, like to do nothing.
Yeah, but then you avoid this pet peeve that really drives me nuts.
What's that?
When women leave the toilet seat down. Why do they assume that it's inappropriate when guys leave the seat up? Like, what kind of sexist crap is that? Like, oh, you left the seat up. Yeah, so you left it down. Who's right in this situation?
Exactly. We need to have it right in the middle.
Double standard crap. I'm gonna lead the first movement towards men that are oppressed. So many social standards, man. That are just
so instead of feminism, it's masculinism.
Yeah,
I said feminism.
Yeah, I accepted it.
So instead of feminism, it's masculinism. That's going to be our next movement.
Heck yeah, dude, we're victimized, bro.
That was, you know what? I have a story about that.
Get the cops called on you. See who has to leave the house that night.
Right.
All she'd say, he hit me, and she's like 80 pounds, and
right.
you could be like 400 pounds, and
that's
like you would
devastate.
There's not a mark on her, and she's like, he hit me. Like, oh, you're gonna have to leave for the night, blah, blah, blah.
That's
like,
when you tell the cops, you're like, hey, she left the toilet seat down. And they'll be like, oh, I get it.
He's like, yeah, well, okay. You know what? You had it coming. You out.
You know, I have a story about that, though. So my brother, one of my brothers, I have 5 brothers. So one of them, you're not good luck finding out which one. He was having a party, and a bunch of people came over, and I went to use the bathroom. And when I came out, this girl went in, and she looked at me, and she's like, well, first of all, I had 3 roommates that are all dudes. So she was like she came out of the bathroom, and she looked at me, she goes, you left the toilet seat up. I'm like, I live in a house full of guys. Like I never have to put it down. So you
personally experienced this prejudice.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't a girl I was dating, but it was just some random girl I'd never met before got mad at me for leaving the toilet seat up in my own house.
Sorry, I left evidence behind that a man lives here. I apologize if that offend you.
No, it just made me, I wasn't mad about it. I was just like, really? You're going to like come to me like upset because I left the toilet seat up in my own house where I live with a bunch of guys and never have to put it down. Now I've actually conditioned myself where I put the seat and the lid down not every time, but most of the time.
Bro, you don't understand their struggle. All right.
And since we're on this topic of guys and girls, one of the things that drives me up the wall, and this goes along with being single, I guess, because like if you're married or whatever, you don't really run into this so much, but it's like when girls say that all guys are the same, it eats at me so much because like the girls that are saying this are the ones who are like so mistreated and like they've had just terrible relationship after terrible relationship. So
some.
Right. Well, the ones who are saying this, like all guys are the same. They're the ones who have been mistreated in some way.
Or they mistreat and it never always fails and that they're self-victims and they never take accountability for what they may have done wrong. There's always a mixture of both, you know.
Right. And that goes both ways. There are guys who do the same thing. Guys are like, all women are the same, but they're the ones either have been treated badly or there's reason.
Actually, and I went on a rant about this months ago at my wife's friend's house. And
what's your wife's name?
Sydney.
No.
Oh, wait. Hey, girl. I forgot this little joke. Anyway, so there's stereotypical things that men and women both say that are just generic and crap. Right. So like you'll hear a guy say, yeah, she's crazy. Or, you know, she was clingy. Or, you know, stuff like that. And then you'll hear a girl say, he's controlling or he's insecure. And it's like, okay, those are actually substitutions for something completely different. So a lot of times, like when the guy goes, she's crazy, what you mean to say is that you can't understand where she's coming from,
right? So
you can't relate. So it's just you have a problem, you know, communicating. So you think she's crazy because you don't understand her side of the story, you know. But so they throw a generic label, and all the guys are like, yeah, we've been there, women are crazy. And then you'll have like
wait, are all these guys drunk in a bar right now? Is that what's happening?
And then you'll have like what was some of the ones I just said?
He's insecure.
Yeah, he's insecure. So basically, or he's controlling, right?
Right.
So basically, like a guy will be like, hey, you know, I don't want you hanging out with your friend because she's a slut and she's been with like 4 guys in the last, you know, some months. And I don't want you, and then how it translates to her when she has her friends. So like, he's so controlling. He doesn't want me to go out. He always try to control everything I do. It's like, you know, honestly, these people shouldn't even be in a relationship together because they don't communicate.
Right.
So it's all comes down to the point where it's just, that's what drives me nuts. People just throw stupid labels on things, and it translates to everything, not just relationships, but people just throw stupid labels on things to cover up the fact that they need to deal with an issue.
Right. And a lot of times it's all or nothing. So they say like all women are crazy or all men are controlling.
Yeah, they're pigs.
Right. But then you have the other side where you said the guy is looking out for her best intentions. He says, I don't want you to hang out with them because they're bad people.
Right.
There are the guys who are controlling that say, I don't want you to hang out with them because the guy's insecure.
But these are such horrible traits that they do it intentionally. They use those terms essentially at a place because it really paints a picture for the friends to, hey, be on my side because this person's at this extreme level, instead of saying the 2 sides of the argument that led to that point.
Right.
So when I hear people throw those labels out, I'm like, how about if you're ever gonna have to take the time for you to throw this out, why don't you throw me both sides so that way I can really, you know, like she's so clingy. Like she wants to hang out with you because she likes you. When has clingy ever been about that? Like I get it if she won't let you poop, you know, she's in there staring at you or whatever. But I mean, overall, that's another overused, you know, title that doesn't really apply.
Just like literally.
Just like literally, yeah.
Yeah. So there is clingy. That's like the mental codependency clingy.
Right.
But then there's also quote unquote clingy where they're like, I would like to spend some time with you. I like being around you. I like being physically close to you. Guys call that clingy.
Yeah.
I want a clingy girl, like not the psycho one that's going to go.
Have you ever noticed
when
you first start dating somebody, it's exciting and you have to hold back those natural feelings. Like some people do, you know, of when should I text? Should I overdo this?
Right.
Because you don't want to come off that way because projecting society is a bad thing. You know, don't go after, wait 2 days and all that stupid crap. But if you're really into somebody and they're really into you, they should have that understanding.
See, this goes back to like me talking about, I can't stand fake people. If you want to text me, text me.
Okay, here's what I love about my wife, right? She doesn't really wear makeup, you know, all that stuff. Because you'll hear girls say all the time, she's so fake. While you're saying that, you're wearing high heels to disguise the fact that you're not even anywhere near that height. This is a Chris
Rock bit right here.
Yeah. You're freaking, you're wearing makeup. So you just totally distorted your face completely. You're not even look the same. Like I had a buddy whose name I won't say, but his girlfriend, I thought, man, she's kind of pretty. You know, she was like in the middle of that ground of, you know, acceptable in the pretty realm, you know, on that side of the scale.
Right.
Well, one day I stayed the night, you know, I was hanging out, fell asleep on the couch. I woke up and she came out, no makeup on. Bro. She went from like a 6.8 to a 7 down to a straight 3, a hard 3.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, makeup can really change the appearance of somebody.
Right. And one of the problems is like, I understand why makeup became a thing. Because like you feel like you need to look better and better and better and better but that's what I love about, like, I want to say that's what I love about dudes, but that's not quite what I'm trying to say. Like I prefer a girl to look natural. Like I don't want her.
Tell me what you love about dudes, Rob.
I was waiting for that. No, like guys don't wear makeup. Well, they don't. They used to not wear makeup. I'm gonna start.
They do now.
I'm gonna start this whole thing over. I'm gonna cut all that out. I wish the girls never had gotten started with makeup because, like, I want to see what you look like, not what you think I want you to look like.
Right.
However, that is kind of a male, I guess, chauvinistic point of view because I have talked to girls before. I have a lot of female friends, and a lot of them have said they don't wear makeup for the guy; they wear makeup for themselves. But in my personal opinion,
a lot of girls say they go to the clubs to dance too, but they're wearing high heels and short dresses instead of sweatpants and, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, there are
applicable shoes
again, and you can't generalize when that comes to that because everybody is their own individual, so you don't know why somebody's doing what they're doing. But I personally prefer the natural look. Like I like the way a girl looks without any makeup at all.
Yeah. When you talk to a lot of guys, though, you'll get that same feedback.
Right.
Me being a guy and have conversed with many other guys, a lot of them came to that same general.
Right.
And some guys don't care. They're like, hey, she hot, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not one of those guys. I don't talk like that. But since we're on the topic of guys and girls again, like this is another thing that I can't stand is guys who I've written down guys who beat their women, but it's like more of what I'm wanting to get at is the guys who mistreat the women. Like the guys who mistreat women, and then the girl will go from that relationship to another relationship, get mistreated by that guy. And then like it destroys her self-confidence. And she kind of like loses who she is as a person. You know what I mean? Like she goes from one relationship where she's told that she's fat and ugly, never going to be successful, never going to get anything. And then she goes to another relationship where she's told that she's dumb and she's ugly and she's not.
Well, it also happens to guys too. I've seen some pretty elusive chicks.
Right. I just
tear down dudes with relentlessly. They're just like,
right.
You're not much of a man. You're blah, 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 blah.
I've heard that before. Yeah. I mean, not to me personally, but I've heard that about other people.
I just had to throw in that snippet of fairness because,
and once again, it happens on both sides.
We live in a culture where we're more likely to victimize women. And I've heard so many, and I've heard on both sides. That's why I'm trying to be the guy that's fair about this. But I've heard so many times, there's no good men anymore, or all women are sluts. And, it's just bitter ramblings. And it's not true. There's 7.3 billion people on this planet, roughly. Right. There's at least hundreds of thousands of ones that you would consider a good person or,
generally that's a lot. Can we just agree that 7.3 billion is a lot?
And China and India make up a lot of that. Right. It's their fault.
Right. So yeah, and just a disclaimer. Anytime we say something like, when a girl says something to a guy, just know that it goes the other way as well.
Nah.
Like no matter what, it's going to go both ways. But yeah, that's one thing that I can't stand. And that bothers me a lot. Especially being single, it's like if I want to be with somebody who's my age, she's been through probably so many relationships, and the guys have been like the majority of them have been super terrible to her. So she has no self-worth. She's beat down, and like she doesn't. There's a girl that I was talking to, and she doesn't even know what she likes because she wasn't allowed to like anything. Mm. She was never allowed to have a hobby or friends or anything. So she doesn't know anything about herself.
Right.
And that it hurts to see that. Like I can't stand the fact that happens to people, and it just kills me.
Well, it's a rippling effect. You have people that are, they're the way they are, due to the way somebody treated them or and it just goes down the line. So that's kind of why I kind of live by the thought process now, not so much when I was younger because I didn't give a crap because most people don't when they're younger, but now that I'm older,
when you're younger, you're a little more selfish.
Yeah. You think that, a lot of these girls in my case, or, guys in the girl's case or whatever, or however they swing their bat,
right.
Whoever they are,
However they swing their bat.
It's one of those things where a lot of these girls are damaged,
right.
Or guys. But I try to think now, look at it in this perspective, that these girls or guys that you're not taking serious right now, that you're just dating, they're somebody else's dream.
Right. Exactly.
That's somebody else's like prize. That's a person that's perfect for somebody else. And when I was younger, I just kind of messed around and did the same thing. And I might have even damaged people unintentionally, So I mean, I could see not every person that's damaged is because they were all with all these abusive people. It's just people didn't care for them enough. They were filling that temporary void while experiencing life, dating around, doing whatever they were doing in that phase. But, now that I'm older, I'm like, man, it's the guys that my wife dated before me that were crap or whatever. It sucks because they didn't see her as one day their wife or whatever. Right. Maybe they did. I don't know.
Right.
But, in the same sense, it's also molded her, or these damaged people that we want to label people as. A lot of them are better for that in ways because then they know what they want. Because people are selfish anyway. Right. Like they self-destruct in their own happiness. They sabotage their own life all the time. So
sometimes subconsciously.
Yeah. So, and that's even mentally healthy people.
Right.
People get complacent. They get bored. And that's why you have that's one of the reasons you have cheating. But also the primal instinct of but whatever. But with that being said, these things all cause and affect each other, but I really don't think it's much of an issue as we try to make it out to be on social media.
Right.
Like, there's all the good guys are married or all this, It's like, No, well, a lot of bad guys are married. A lot of good guys are single.
Right.
Same thing on the other end of it. You know, so it's just, once again, for me, it's the labels, man. It's just the labels drive me nuts because it holds no water.
Right.
Because there are true scenarios mixed in with a whole bunch of hogwash, a bunch of crap that people are just like, this sounds good when I say it. This helps me burn the person that I was just with, you know, and this is why I'm a victim.
Right.
And when we allow ourselves to victimize ourselves, that's when, you know, we become worse because now we're damaged and, you know, like labels like that, you know, these labels are more toxic than the people themselves.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, once you attach a label to yourself, you almost curse yourself with those words, with that label.
Right.
You know, like, oh, you know, you get called a slut enough times, you might be a slut.
Right.
Or you might, you know, it's one of those things, Bert, you remember in high school, I know chicks that come to find out they were a virgin, you know, and they were a slut.
Yeah.
You know, these labels are toxic. From a young age, we label each other, we label stuff. And then as we get older, they just kind of stick with us.
Yeah.
Why hold yourself to a standard that you never were, you know,
Exactly.
by all these other people's eyes, you know?
I completely agree.
So yeah, labels really bother me, you know, social labels.
Yeah.
They divide us. Look at conservative and liberal.
Yeah, I was gonna say it divides us. The labels divide us. So we need to stop labeling ourselves.
Yeah.
Or labeling others. Just
yeah, I mean, individual thought is better for translation and within humanity of getting, you know, people's thoughts across, you know, whatever, than being part of a team.
right.
You know?
Right. So I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit. Because we got pretty serious there for a minute.
Well, rants do that.
Right, right. And because they're rants because you're so passionate about it. So
Right.
One of the things I was just thinking, one of the things that I can't stand is, well, I guess it's not that I can't stand it. It's just like, I don't get it, is people who can't follow directions. Like it's literally step by step telling you how to do something and you can't do it. Like, why?
Unless the step-by-step instructions are crap.
No, like I get that, but I'm saying like clear, direct instructions. Like, how can you not follow instructions?
I think a lot of that would be because people lack confidence. So as they're going through, like, oh, did I make the left turn? Oh, maybe it wasn't the street. Maybe it's, you know, I think it's just that, you know, that thought process of doubting yourself.
Right.
I think that throws them off. But I don't think it's that they can't read them or understand them.
No, I'm not saying that. It's just like it's not that they can't read them
or understand them.
Yeah, or understand them, but for some reason they just can't follow them.
Right.
Like one of my brothers, again, I'm not going to say who, he cannot follow directions. No matter, it's literally step by step. Step 1, put the popcorn bag in the popcorn in the microwave. Step 2, push a button. Step 3, take it out. Step 4, open it. It's like, and he can't follow it. It's like, why can you not? I just don't get it. I can't fathom how that's not possible.
It's driving me nuts. That's hot in here.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just turned the air conditioner down too.
Turned it down?
Yeah, to like
the temperature
cooler
setting.
temperature.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It feels good to me now.
Does it do? I'm burning up.
Well, you are standing up.
I'm standing and drinking lots of Red Bull.
I am sitting on the couch, just chilling. I made sure to get my microphone so it'll actually stretch all the way over to me.
I like to pace, and this allows me to move around a little bit.
All right. So let me ask you this. Are you a sports fan?
Some
okay.
Sports.
So you have your teams, right?
Right.
Okay. Are you like 100% pro your team and anti any team that you're playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This is another mentality that I don't understand. I just don't get it.
Throw it at me and I'll maybe I can help.
am not a sports fan. Okay. I do not care about sports at all.
Gotcha.
So I guess I'm not a man, maybe.
No, I'm not caving to that social standard.
Right. So the people who obsess over their team, quote unquote, their team,
right,
and then they get into fights with people of the opposite team.
See, that I don't really get.
I don't either.
I like the playful banter, but I don't really get into the whole, I don't understand the whole, because I lived in California for quite a while, and and those Raiders fans, when they were there, before they moved the team, my God, why did their fans fight so much? Why were they so violent?
Right. You know? I don't understand. It's like you like something different than I do.
You're about to go to jail because
you said jail.
Jail.
You're about to go to jail.
Yeah, you're about to go to a hair gel factory. I don't know. It was stupid. But anyway,
no, that was funny.
But anyway,
yeah, they get in literal fights. I don't understand it.
Well, see, for me, I'm a Bears fan for football. Go Bears!
Go Bears!
Da Bears! But 80% of my family, for some unknown reason, we don't live anywhere near Dallas, Texas, are Dallas Cowboys fans.
Okay.
But we throw crap at each other
You rib
verbally.
each other.
Yeah, but it's playful. It's never angry. It's just kind of like and usually I'm on the losing end of that because my team sucks. You know, once you start getting into statistics, I'm like, crap. Yeah.
Right.
But you know, it's all in good fun. But yes, I mean, people do that.
I don't understand why though. Like, just because somebody likes something different than you, why are you fighting about it? Like, it's not like, are they not allowed to have their own personal opinion?
You know, honestly, I feel like maybe it actually helps society in a weird way. And here's why.
All right. Yeah. You're going to have to explain this to me.
Human nature, no matter how much we're united on something, if we were united in something, we'd find some reason to hate and divide against other people.
Okay.
It's just what we do as a species. Like, say you have racism, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, what if everybody was the same race? Then we would fight about
height.
Yeah. There'll always be some way to divide and conquer over another group. There's always that need to, and then, you know, just to.
But why?
Well, I mean, look at our primitive nature. That's what made us stay alive. It's what made us expand. It's what made it, you know, it's just what keeps things rolling. It's we've always been. So it's one of those things where sports, I feel like it may help society because it's a smaller scale. So we get out of our system and then we go back to our everyday lives or, you know, our 9 to 5 and we're like, yeah, man. And those Bears, we got to stop losing.
You know what? Speaking of that, you said 9 to 5. That made me think of something.
8 to 5, whatever.
Well, 9 to 5, 8 to 5 if you get a lunch break.
Yeah.
Okay. So talking about the 9 to 5, going to work and stuff like that. This is something that I cannot stand at all. I hate it. I've wanted to leave jobs because of this. The employers who put work over the well-being of their employees.
Oh yeah.
I can't handle that. Like, I'm the type of person, I get in trouble all the time with my clients and stuff because I'll miss deadlines because I put my friends and family first. Work will never come first for me.
I have an example of that where it drove me nuts. Before I have the job that I like now, I have a good job. I'm happy with it.
Right.
But when I first moved back to Illinois, I had to get a crappy job just to, you know, make ends meet until I, you know, got on where I was going to go. And I won't say the name of this job, even though I should, but I won't. I won't put them on blast. But they have a reputation for treating their employees like crap. They mess up pay all the time. They, you know, even me personally, they didn't. I got hurt at work and they didn't pay my hospital bill for the longest time. I almost hit my credit report. And then when I threatened them with it, then they suspended me until they paid it and then eventually fired me because I threatened, you know, whatever. But anyway, the example I was wanting to give was there was a manager there that was following people around. This dude was like 5'2". He had no business being in people's faces. You know
right, right.
Well, there's this guy that I used to work with who I thought was hilarious, and we called him Really Real. He's from Southside Chicago. Moved down. He'd be like, "Oh, no, Really Real." so we always called him Really Real.
I know a friend like that.
Yeah, he's
like, "You want to bounce some Murph?"
Yeah, you want Really Real. But anyway, dude was hilarious, right? Never gave anybody any grief, you know. Just a good dude. He worked hard. Well, the manager, the 5'2" manager, was following him around, and because his counts were bad that day or whatever, you know, which it happens. Everybody has a good and bad day, but there's got to be a point where you have to treat men and women like adults,
right?
You know,
or at least people.
Yeah, he was following them around, just kind of, just like harassing him, like, and he warned him. He even said, "If you don't get away from me, I'm going to hit you."
Right.
Well, I guess he didn't take Really Real serious. Because Really Real was on that Really Real, you know what I'm saying? And he turned around and hit this manager, I almost said his name, so hard that his legs buckled and he hit the ground. And I was standing right there. And like the right thing would have been, I guess, to help break it up. But I just stood there and smiled, which is kind of dark, I guess. Because
that's one of those things. It's like, that's an instant justice that you like.
More that social justice, you know. And he got arrested and fired, of course. Then, you know, my thing happened after that. But it was one of those things that job setting was just awful. Yeah. It was just across the board. They treated him like crap. And the managers weren't happy because they were getting paid crap.
Right.
You know, our highest paying floor manager, you know, whenever I got on my new job, I made twice as much as he did.
Oh, wow.
Twice as much at my job now, you know. And it's one of those things where I just feel bad for him in the same sense, but it's like, man, you know, you let this job enslave you. You let you know, the need for your crappy job and your crappy money to treat other men and women like crap.
Right. And that's what it all comes down to.
And at your funeral, who's going to give a crap that you got more production done for this prick upstairs that doesn't give a if you died tomorrow, he would say something nice because he felt obligated, but he doesn't. You know what I mean? It's for nothing.
That's exactly my point.
Hold on to your humanity.
Yeah, be a person. Don't like your work that you're going to do is never going to come before the relationships that you can have with people. Like, build relationships, enjoy your time with your friends, your family, like have a life. Like, what is it? Don't work to live. No. Don't live to work to live. No, I'm not. It's basically what I'm trying to say is don't put all your time into working so you can have a life. Like, make a life and then work. Like, those need to be separate. You don't have to, don't make work your life unless it's like a hobby and like it's enjoyable. Like, if you love doing it, then yeah, it's fine. Make it your life. But like, if it's the 9-to-5 office job in a cubicle that you can't stand, and you're putting in 60, 80 hours a week, like you're not having a life.
Right. Well, I find myself.
You're not having a life outside of work.
Right. I find myself at the workplace always getting along with the people that are just weird because I like weird people.
Yeah.
It's a better conversation. Like,
yeah. And it's interesting.
Light, just baseline conversation here and there bores me.
Right.
So I really like the whole weird people concept, but those are the ones that get made fun of, because people need somebody to point a finger at and share a laugh.
Right.
To, form their conversations, I guess.
They point at them and laugh at them because they are the ones who stand out.
Right.
They're the ones who are unique.
Yeah.
They don't fit the mold that everybody feels like you should fit into.
Yeah. I mean, like there's a few guys at work that I get along with great. People are like, he's weird or he's something's wrong with that guy. He's stupid. I'm like, based off hearing this guy, his IQ is probably through the roof. He's not stupid, you know. The dude's incredibly interesting to listen to, and all you got to talk about is Mountain Dew and mud flaps because it's the Southern Illinois way, I guess. And no offense to Southern Illinoisans, I'm one too. I'm just saying, very baseline conversations, and you find somebody who's unique that actually has something interesting to say, and he's weird.
Well, there is that one saying that says that what is it like? Intelligent people discuss ideas, whatever, and then it works its way down to like. Dumb people discuss people or whatever because that's all you have to talk about is people. Right. Like you can't be productive or anything. You only got to talk about how to put down other people. Yeah, I completely agree. And that was one of the things that I was wanting to talk about because I can't stand mean people. I don't want to say I hate them, but like mean people, just the ones who are like universally
that's also
mean.
A label. Because you can catch somebody catch a good person on a bad day and they're super mean.
Well, I'm not talking about them. Like, what I'm talking about is like the overall person who is mean no matter what. Yeah. Like anytime you see them, they're just mean to everybody.
Disgruntled all the time.
Yeah. And because like, there's been times where I've probably been come across mean, but I'm not a mean person at all. Right.
But basically the whole pessimistic mindset of, oh man, this always sucks. And that brings you into you ever heard of the law of attraction? Yeah. So you know how you like, a positive mindset ultimately leads to a positive life, where a negative one, leads to a negative. You get up in the morning. I don't know if you've ever seen the documentary, The Secret. It talks about the law of attraction, kind of breaks it down.
I haven't seen it.
Well, they talk about how you get up in the morning, you're late for your alarm, you stub your toe. Everything bad happens in a series. Right. Because your body subconsciously leads it down a path of crap when you think negatively all the time. Okay. You're less likely to get promoted at work. You're less likely to get that date you wanted. You're less... Your mindset's negative, so you always sabotage your own day, or you always mess it up, and things just attract itself to that. It's the law of attraction. Okay. It's the same thing with positive energy. If you're always thinking good things and always being positive, always seem interested, and people have to say your life will ultimately be better. I agree with that. So yeah, I think you're leading towards the people that are pessimistic or just they're obnoxious anyway because they can't see good in life. Right now we're ranting about things we don't like, but in general. Right.
That's just because that's the topic of this.
Generally, we get along with a lot of people, and we seem to attract those people to us because so a lot of people in our friend circle are just really interesting, very like positive, creative. They believe in themselves because they're not negative. Because a negative person would say, "Don't do a podcast because it's not going to go anywhere anyway." Right, and or a positive person would say, "Dude, who cares? It's fun. Right, we're having a blast."
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's that mindset that,
and we get to hang out and talk about stuff. Right, that interests us. I did the same thing.
Yeah, people always find ways to cut themselves down and limit themselves when there doesn't need to be. Right. Like look at the Wright brothers. When they were making their plane, they were competing. With a major university Imagine the funds that Major University had,
Right.
and they won because they were passionate, because they believed in themselves, they were positive. You know.
Yeah, I completely see that. If you put out that vibe and you're a positive, outgoing, just fun person, then you're definitely going to be way more attractive
Right.
than somebody who's like, oh, I nobody ever likes me. I can't ever do anything good.
So that's why I feel like you're hating on not necessarily just the label of mean people, but people that just have a negative outlook on everything. They're sort of suck hole for everything around them.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to the victim mentality.
Right.
I can't stand whenever somebody's like, "Oh, it's always my fault. I'm always the worst." Like I can't handle it. I don't even want to be around those people.
Yeah. Well, look at Mother Teresa. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the exact quote, but she said, I won't go to an anti-war rally, but I'll show up to a peace rally, pro-peace rally.
Okay, yeah,
because the focus is positive instead of the focus of negative, because it breeds everything around it's negative.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Like what the news is doing right now. Has things got better since we've been informed of all the negative? No. we just form passionate opinions on it.
Right.
And that's all it is we're just dividing.
Right.
And that drives me nuts.
That's the point of the podcast.
Yeah. Boom.
Like we were talking about going to work and stuff all the time. I had something popped in my head whenever we crossed that barrier into talking about work. I saw on the news one time and several articles. Like I spend a lot of time on Reddit. For you Reddit fans out there, I spend a lot of time on Reddit. I'm not gonna tell you my username though. But there was
for the non-Reddit users, what is Reddit?
It's just a community of people that you can get together and share ideas and stories.
Like a forum?
Yeah. But it's very, very organized. But they're these businesses that started putting spikes outside of their business in these little areas, like where they would find homeless people sleeping. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen any of that?
No.
They'll literally put spikes on the ground, like plates of spikes, so that the homeless people can't lay there.
Like what they put on lamps, so keep birds out from getting on them and crapping on them. You ever seen them on like lamps and like street lamps and buildings where they'll put like the spikes so the birds don't land on it and crap?
I haven't seen that, but I mean,
those are everywhere.
They're treating the people the same way. They're putting these spikes out that are
birds.
Right. They're treating people like birds. No, they're putting these spikes out to keep these homeless people from sleeping. Like when it's raining and freezing cold outside, they go under the little awnings and the little is it a cul-de-sac, I guess?
No.
Where the
cul-de-sac's like a neighborhood. Like
you're a neighborhood. Basically, they'll go.
Dang, what kind of burn was that, bro?
It wasn't.
You're a neighborhood.
Basically, they'll go inside. The building is inset, or the front door is inset into the building. They'll go into those and sleep. But they started putting spikes in there that where they can't even lay down. It's like, why? Why are you trying to? I don't know. I just think that just drives me nuts. I think it's super mean.
So basically, you don't like the mistreatment of people.
Oh, absolutely not. Like the majority. What am I trying to say? My main focus is to build relationships with people. Okay, so I have a
minus to cause them pain.
That's where opposites attract. That's why we're such good friends. No, I have I work closely with a marketing company, and as I said, I'm a graphic designer, so I work close with a marketing company. So, one of the leader of this group was trying to get us to explain how we sell the company to people, and I said it got to my turn, and I said I can't sell things to people because I don't care about money. Like money does not motivate me, doesn't drive me at all. And so she's like, well, what does? And I said, relationships. If I can change somebody's heart or make somebody a better person, make them feel better about themselves, or, what can I do to bless you, to make you feel better about yourself? Like I'm an encourager. I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. So she was asking me how I can sell the business. I'm like, I can't unless I can change a person. You know what I mean? Like, does that make any sense, or am I rambling here?
No, I get you. Because
I feel like I'm not explaining it. I hear that. That's one of those. Believe that. That's one of those things. It's like living a dream. No, I guess I'm just trying to say I want to build people up, and I just can't. I
want to make them cry with joy.
I don't know. That's just my personality. Is I want to build people up and make them feel like they can be the best type of person they possibly can be.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably my weakness is I'm not as passionate or as compassionate as I should be.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, I do feel things for people. I mean, I'm not, I don't have that lack of empathy.
Right.
But you're on a whole new level. You're really
right.
You really care about people and their feelings. I could make somebody mad, and then be like, hey, he's mad at you. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I feel like you'd be like, oh man, what'd I say? Like,
right.
What can I make it right? And I'm just like,
I would want to go talk to him and be like, hey,
I guess he's not coming to my birthday party, whatever.
That he would be the first person I'd invite to my birthday party and be like, dude, I didn't mean to make you upset.
Matter of fact, let's make this birthday party about you.
So I see that you're holding your little headphone thing in your hand. Was it hanging off your ears a little too hard?
No, just I just want to hold it.
Well, as I saw you doing that, it made me think of like the headphones that you have go in your ears.
Right.
The ones I have go around my head.
Yeah.
So one of the things I thought about, I noticed you were wearing just one in your ear earlier. So like, do you ever walk around with the headphones on like that and then get it caught on something?
Yeah.
Oh,
I do that with both of them in my ears because like I have a little bit of slack in the front of the cord.
Right.
It hangs in front of me. So when I'm at the gym working out, I've learned to tuck it in my shirt. Well, I actually have wireless ones, some Beats,
right.
But just recently they're my wife's, but I borrow them, frequently.
Taking Hey Girls headphones?
Yeah, taking Hey Girls headphones. But these, like, man, I hate when I'm working out and they get caught and they rip out of my ears.
Oh, that makes me
furious. And
furious.
I'm sitting in the middle of my set. I'm like, dude, I have my metal music going or my tech or whatever.
Right.
I'm just sitting there like cranking them out. Now I'm mad, which I ended up lifting better. It actually inspired me because I'm so angry that I'm just like,
next time I see you in the gym, I'll walk by and just yank them right out.
Yeah. I'll get my Max, bro, for sure.
Yeah, that's one thing that I can't handle. Like if I walk past the door handle or something, it grabs the headphones and pulls them out of my ear. Oh, it makes me so mad. Or if I'm like reading a book or something and then I have to get up and it catches like on the corner of the table or something. Oh my gosh. Why does that make us so mad? Why is that a thing?
First world problems, man.
Right. But like, what is it about that makes us more angry than like?
Because it happens frequently. And things that happen frequently, they just like when they happen, because you know it's going to happen again.
Right.
Like, in your lifetime, it will happen at least 17 more times. Right.
Right.
So when it happens, like, gosh, because you were trying to avoid it. It's been in your head.
Right. But why
and you failed yourself. It's more, it's not each individual incident. It's the fact that you failed yourself. Like you let it happen again. It's like,
I think you're taking this to a whole new level. I don't think it's that bad.
I think it is.
But why is it that we get so angry about it? I don't understand. Like, I don't think that's it.
I think it is. I think I had to hit the nail right on the head.
Hit the headphone right on the, all right. Never mind. Speaking of headphones, another thing that drives me nuts is when people try to talk to me when I have my
cowboy butts.
What?
You never see those bumper stickers?
No.
You live in Southern Illinois, you've never seen those bumper stickers?
What is it?
Cowboy butts drive me nuts.
I've not seen that.
Really? I've seen a few of those.
I don't really have
in my day.
I don't really care about seeing cowboy butts.
I don't either, but you see the
bumper
butts
sticker. I'm okay with, but
they're on bumper stickers, bro.
I literally haven't seen that.
Like they're not as common as like the coexist bumper sticker that's on every other person's car.
Yeah.
But they're there, dude. If you look hard enough.
I haven't seen one. I used to have a bumper sticker that said, "I'm only speeding because I really have to poop." Somebody stole it. It was a magnet. And somebody stole it off the back of my car. But anyway, yeah, one of the things that drives me nuts that's not cowboy butts is when people try to talk to me when I have my headphones in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like you have them in, and I'm obviously listening to music.
And
why
they're
are you
talking to you,
me?
and then you give them like a subtle like hint that you don't want to talk to them by look at the end of the sentence, you start to put it back in your ear, and they start talking to you again. You pull it back out. You're like, seriously, like
right. And it's like I used to do this when I used to work at a gas station, and I would go around and like have to take out all the trash and stuff. And it was late at night, maybe like 11 o'clock or whatever. I'd have my headphones in, walking around, taking all the trashes out, and people would walk up to me and start talking.
All the trashes, huh?
All the trashes, every single one of the trashes. They would walk up to me and start talking to me, and I obviously have my headphones in, so then I'd have to stop, pull my headphones out, and be like, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" And then they would repeat it like every single time, and I'd put them back in, and they would say something else, and I'm like, "Come on, man,
get the freaking hint, man!"
Right? But it's just like, if you want to talk to me, I got no problem having to talk to you, but like, get my attention first.
Well, you know what really yanks my tits is when I'm sitting there on a freaking airplane or in a car, and someone just keeps hitting the back of my seat.
Oh, like, the movie theater.
God. Oh, the movie theater too. Yeah.
That drives. It's like, why are you moving so much?
It's like you got to know there's a seat there and your knees going into it.
Right.
Or like my kid will just like kick the back of the seat. I'll be like, for the love of God, kid.
For the love of all things holy.
You're not an only child. I have an extra. Keep it up.
Yeah, the movie theater drives me nuts because it's like, I don't understand how you can hit the back of the seat that many times.
Right. It's like one time it's like, okay.
Right, I get it. Or maybe twice through the whole entire movie.
2 or 3 times, you know what's going to happen again, and you're just waiting anticipation. Now you can't enjoy your movie,
right,
or your flight, or whatever.
First world problems all over again.
I actually had an old guy spill his drink all over me the last time I was on a plane.
What?
Yeah, on accident. He was like leaned over, just poured his whole drink in my lap. And I'm just thinking, man, all this old man spit and cold water all over my junk.
That's a sad day.
Yeah, because it runs all the way down your crack, and you're just like, this flight sucks now. It just set the pace.
Right. You know what? This just popped into my head. Another like off topic kind of thing. Something, well, not off topic, but like a random like thought. What another thing that drives me nuts. You ever go like, do you do the grocery shopping or does your wife?
We both usually go together. It's a team effort. So
I prefer, when I go grocery shopping, I prefer to go at like midnight or later because there's nobody in the store. Okay. Yeah. And here's the reason why. If I go at like 2:00 in the afternoon and it's packed, or 5:00 in the afternoon, whatever time the grocery store is packed, I try to stay away from it. So I don't know what times. I can't stand when somebody's standing in front of what I need. I want to get in and get out. And somebody's standing there staring at they're like looking at 50 different things. And I'm just like, what I want is right in front of you, but I can't get it because you're not even focusing on that there's somebody else standing there.
Right. Yeah. I also don't like when I see something that's supposed to be frozen or chilled, sitting like on the chip aisle or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you worthless human being.
Lazy people. Yeah. That drives me nuts. Cause
it's like, and the world's still going around and you're reproducing. And here we are.
Welcome to Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, you need to watch it.
I've had 1,000 people ask me that. I really think I need to see this.
I have it. I'll let you borrow it.
Ooh.
You need to watch it.
That made it easier.
Right. Now you don't have to go find it.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I want to do?
What's that?
We should find ways to annoy people back as they annoy us. I think that's the only way to break them of it.
Yes.
So like maybe like for sentence fillers, we can just create our own.
All right. What do you mean?
Like we just insert random
just silences.
That's how you know this stuff's freestyled.
So instead of
we all use sentence fillers, but it's the frequent usage of it that drives me nuts.
Yeah, and if you go back and listen to this podcast,
we've said like and
a million times,
but it's the frequency of it. It's
right.
Like I was like you know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like so like that.
Yeah.
It's the frequency of it that bothers me, not necessarily just using it in a sentence here and there.
And now people are listening are going to be listening for it.
Do we redeem ourselves?
We could try, but
we maybe just annoy ourselves.
Let's just annoy each other. So what do you got for sentence fillers? What can you put in instead of like and like what do you want to replace them with?
How about so I ooh la la. Tiggy. Tiggy.
So you're gonna be like, so I was walking down the street, Tiggy, and I found this box,
Tiggy.
We're so dumb.
Tiggy.
Where'd that come from? Tiggy.
Just the back of my brain. I don't know.
It's in the back of your brain.
Yeah. Tiggy.
So I think that would definitely annoy the crap out of people. You just start talking and be like, I'm gonna do that now.
Tiggy.
I'm literally gonna do it. Tiggy.
Tiggy.
You know what else we can do?
What's that?
This reminds me, there was a guy that used to he told me this a long time ago when I was in high school. And he goes, you know what would annoy people more than anything is when you call them tough guy or champ or boss. Like if somebody's like kind of getting aggressive, maybe you'd be like, oh yeah, tough guy or champ. Come on, boss. What do you got? I think that would drive some people nuts.
I think it just having people ride along with you and just have your windshield wipers going
Oh man, okay.
when they're not needed.
Okay. So I was riding with a friend the other day, and she she is a fan of our podcast, so she knows she might be able to figure herself out that I'm talking about her. She had the windshield wipers on because it was like just sprinkling just a little bit, and they would go and then stop and then go and then stop. And then the rain stopped like 10 minutes ago, and they're still going. And I'm like, please, dear God, shut your windshield wipers off. Oh, it was driving me nuts.
See, I drive my wife nuts with that. It will be raining, Diggy, and it's like the rain slow down, turn it down. And I'm like,
it has to match the frequency of the rain. You can't just have it.
I'm like, Diggy, no, look, it will catch back up, whatever. So I think what I'm going to start doing is just randomly one day, Diggy, I'm just going to have them go, and it's going to be like 70 degrees, sunny, maybe partly cloudy.
Just have the windshield wipers on.
Diggy. And then she'll be like, turn them off.
You turn them up faster.
Yeah, I'm full blown.
You know what I do that actually annoys people a lot? And it's just because I've always got like some kind of music in my head, is I drum on every available surface. I'll sit there and I was doing this to you earlier. I was sitting there just drumming on my chest.
Yeah. You were doing that. But I like the song, so I was just like, yeah.
Right. Well, it's
Keep
fun.
the beat, bro.
It's fun when you do that, but if you're in like a social setting, where earlier tonight I was actually at a restaurant, and the person across from me was like on the table.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
There's certain services that just make it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're talking about how to annoy other people, but something that annoys me, I'm going to throw this back in there, is people who are incredibly loud.
Oh yeah.
At restaurants. Like they talk or laugh so loud. I was with a group of friends one time, and they were so loud, I moved to another table, and sat at a different table by myself, and I had two people come and join me from our group.
Should we talk at this volume and then just be like,
yes.
Which reminds me, there was was that loud?
Yeah, it's like red across the board.
Good point. Point made.
Point made, right?
So like, Diggy?
Diggy?
Was it Diggy or
Diggy? Yeah.
Diggy.
Tiggy.
Tiggy. I was Tiggy.
Anytime now, from now on, when you say I'm gonna throw in Tiggy.
Tiggy. We're gonna break each other this.
Yeah, we are.
I dated a girl who had the most annoying laugh you could ever imagine.
Can you recreate it?
I can't, but I will try.
All right. Is it gonna be loud?
It was like a
if it's gonna be loud,
mixture of a witch, some kind of motor.
What?
And
Tiggy.
A cat in heat and Tiggy. Like
what?
You're so and throwing in the Tiggy. You're so funny.
That's how she would laugh, for real?
Yeah. It was. I would purposely turn down the funny so I wouldn't have to hear her laugh.
Oh, wow.
Because it was long-winded too. Because you don't want people thinking you're dating somebody that sounds like that, So you're just hanging out in a social setting, and, you say something funny, and you're like, oh crap, I just said something funny. Here it comes.
That sounds like a psychotic clown.
She was.
Oh, that's so bad.
So was that laugh, dog?
Tiggy.
On the really real.
So I was, you know what else you can do that would like drive people nuts? That you could, a way that you could annoy them really easily.
Hum.
Almost. Humming does kind of gets annoying. It depends on the setting. But what you can do is, while they're reading something, like say you hand them like, hey, will you read this for me? Stand over their shoulder and mumble while they're reading.
Tiggy.
Tiggy. Tiggy. We need to make a song out of that.
I think that should be our intro song.
Tiggy.
It's just plain nonsense. Tiggy. Tiggy.
Tiggy.
Tiggy. Tiggy. Welcome to the mic. Or no, we changed our name.
We did.
This is just plain nonsense.
Tiggy.
Tiggy.
Tiggy. Tiggy.
Tiggy. Tiggy. Tiggy.
All right, people are gonna get annoyed with us.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the point.
That's
of this
the point. Yeah, I'm Tiggy. So anyway, that's all the time we have. I hope you were annoyed because I know I sure am.
Yeah, I'm not annoyed with looking at you. I can't stand you anymore.
I love you, man.
I love you too, buddy. No homo.
Yeah. I'm Tiggy. Well, that's it.
All right, we're out.
All right. Peace.